Change doesn't always come with warning signs. It has a way of showing up whether we're ready or not. Sometimes we fight it, kind of holding on to what feels safe. Sometimes it feels like a bend in the road you've driven 100 times, only this time it doesn't look the same. In this session, we're talking about navigating change, uh, the kind you fight, the kind you fear, and how those moments quietly shape who we become. These are stories about crossroads, about letting go and finding your way forward when the road behind you no longer fits. Welcome back to Dirt Road Sessions. Change comes quietly most of the time. It doesn't kick the door in. It taps on the glass and waits to be noticed. What separates people isn't whether change arrives, but how they answer it. Some people fight change like it's a storm that can be outrun. They, they brace themselves against it, dig their heels into familiar ground, and cling to what worked once. For them, comfort lives in repetition. The same roads, the same stories, the same version of themselves. There's safety there, and a kind of loyalty to the past that feels honorable. But resistance has a cost. Over time, the world keeps moving while they stay still, and the gap between who they are and who they could be grows wider. Life begins to feel smaller and heavier, like carrying a suitcase packed for a trip that never happens. Others meet change like an open road at dawn. They don't always know where it leads, but they trust the motion. These people understand that discomfort is only the price of becoming. They let go of old skins and outdated dreams and familiar pain, not because it's easy, but because staying the same hurts more. Their lives are marked by chapters instead of loops. They stumble, they lose things, they start over, but they grow. The world feels larger to them, full of possibility and unfinished sentences. Neither path is free of fear. The one who fights change fears losing what they know. The ones who embrace it fear the unknown. But the difference shows up in time. Those who resist often look back with regret, wondering when life passed them by. Those who adapt look back with scars, yes, but also with stories and depth and a sense that they've lived honestly. Change doesn't ask for permission, it asks for a decision. And in that choice between holding on and stepping forward, entire lives are shaped. And eventually, the two paths cross in subtle ways. Those who fought change begin to feel its weight in the quiet moments. When the house is too still, when the mirror shows a stranger shaped by years of someday, when the world no longer speaks the language they once knew fluently. They tell themselves stories about how things used to be, polishing memories until they shine brighter than the present. Nostalgia becomes a shelter, but also a wall. It keeps them warm and it keeps them enclosed. Those who embraced change carry a different kind of ache. They grieve versions of themselves they had to leave behind. They miss people, places, and moments that no longer fit in their lives. Growth asks for sacrifices, and sometimes the price feels steep. But their sorrow is threaded with motion. Even in loss, there is direction. Even in endings, there is momentum. Time reveals the quiet truth. Change does not reward bravery with ease, nor does it punish caution with cruelty. It simply magnifies the choice. Resistance hardens into bitterness or resignation. Acceptance softens into resilience. Once life becomes about preservation, the other becomes about transformation. And yet, it's never too late to choose again. The road doesn't close because you stood still too long. It waits. Change is patient that it just waits. It's kind of weird that way. It meets people at any age, at any breaking point, and offers the same question about it. Will you stay who you are, or will you become who you need to be? In the end, the difference between fighting change and embracing it isn't success or failure. It's aliveness. One life is spent guarding what was, the other is spent discovering what could be. Embrace change, because change happens daily. In our jobs, in our marriage, in our relationships, in our friendships, in just everyday life. Don't fight it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming back to Dirt Road Sessions. Y'all have a blessed day. See ya.